Caitlin Clark just did something that no athlete has done since Michael Jordan.
Remember when Michael Jordan's name alone could move millions of dollars in minutes? Now, there's a new face stirring up the basketball world, Caitlin Clark. She's not just creating noise. She's shaking the entire system. Her latest headline-making deal has WNBA veterans sweating, and not because of the summer heat. The reason? Clark's growing power mirrors MJ's legendary dominance. She's not here to blend in. She's here to change the game.
Where he's like Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, probably eventually Caitlin Clark, where it's like individual people make an entire country tune into their sport.
1,000%.
Like hockey was never bigger than when Wayne Gretzky was playing it. And it was ridiculous how much it grew the sport.
Tiger Woods.
This isn't just a brand collab. It's a cultural reset. Clark's partnership with a billion-dollar empire isn't just making waves, it's rewriting the way we look at female athletes. While some veterans feel the spotlight slipping away, Clark's positioning herself at the center of it all. Think back to the moment Jordan signed with Nike. Now fast forward, Clark is building her own legacy. And before we wrap up, we'll show you the stat that connects her directly to MJ, along with words straight from the GOAT himself.
But she's incredible. Congratulations to her and her family. Yeah. The crazy thing is I'm just seeing her last year when they played LSU, but she's phenomenal.
Let's zoom in on the milestone that just changed the landscape. Wilson, the official basketball supplier of the NBA and WNBA, just gave Caitlin Clark something no woman has received since Michael Jordan, a signature ball collection. That alone puts her in rare air, but it goes deeper. These aren't just flashy balls with her name slapped on them. Each one is a piece of her story. One honors her fearless range from deep, another celebrates her record-breaking stat lines, and one is all about her ability to command a crowd like she's headlining a world tour. Even Cheryl Swoops, who built her name on legacy, is talking more about Clark these days than her own resume. When your brand starts echoing MJ's and legends are watching your moves, it's clear you're not just participating in the game, you're redefining it.
Making her the first athlete since Michael Jordan to get their own signature basketball from Wilson. She also becomes the first WNBA player to get her own signature basketball from Wilson.
Wilson couldn't keep shelves stocked. Clark's signature balls flew off the market in under 40 minutes. That's faster than a cryptic Asia Wilson tweet gets ratioed. It wasn't just hype. It was a cultural surge. Imagine the chaos of a new iPhone drop or a Travis Scott release. That's the energy Clark's bringing. Then came the next twist, a sellout collection with a grocery store. Yes, you heard that right. She's reaching sneakerhead status in the snack aisle. That's influence.
Calling all Caitlin Clark fans, 2 new limited edition basketballs are now available at select Hy-Vee stores. The designs are part of the Inspire series that Clark is doing in partnership with Wilson Sporting Goods. The tribute ball pays homage to Clark's time with the Iowa women's basketball team, and the Dreamer ball is designed to encourage athletes to pursue their dreams. Both are available in sizes 3 and 6 at select Hy-Vee locations.
Wilson's head of global brand, Amanda Lamb, made it clear Caitlin Clark isn't just part of the brand, she is the brand. Her rise marks a turning point, not just for Wilson, but for how women's basketball is packaged and presented to the world. This is more than a promo. It's a rebranding of the sport, and Clark is the face leading the charge.
And when you take into stock the fact that outside of Kevin Durant, aging superstar, LeBron James, 40 years old, and Steph Curry, there's not a single NBA player more popular today than Caitlin Clark. That is a problem.
Caitlin Clark isn't just shaking up the endorsement world. She's rewriting what success looks like for women in professional sports. With her rise has come a noticeable tension within the league. While she signs groundbreaking deals and dominates headlines, some of the WNBA's most outspoken veterans are watching from the sidelines, struggling to stay in the spotlight. But the numbers, they don't lie. Clark's WNBA games are pulling in an average of 1.18 million viewers. That's not just higher than average, it's triple the league's usual viewership. Her presence alone is attracting fans who never gave women's basketball a second look. This isn't just a ratings boost, it's a full-scale takeover. And the craziest part, she's just getting started.
We knew Caitlin Clark was marketable, but she's been put over some pretty big names. In fact, some worldwide, huge, international names. 2 of them being Messi and Ronaldo.
It's not just about the wins, it's about the spectacle. Caitlin Clark is transforming every game she plays into a national event. Arenas that were half full last season are now sold out. Her highlights dominate TikTok and Instagram Reels weekly. Entire families who never watched a WNBA game before are now glued to the screen. Gen Z sees her as a cultural icon. Boomers say she reminds them of Larry Bird if he had a killer Twitter presence. Middle America, which typically reserves its love for football Sundays, is suddenly falling in love with the Indiana Fever. Clark isn't just building a fan base, she's rebuilding the WNBA's entire identity. Yet amid all this praise, a few veterans remain stuck in confusion, wondering how this young rookie captured the world's attention without trying. The truth? She didn't try to take the spotlight. It followed her.
But for Caitlin Clark, on a worldwide marketability list for athletes, to be ahead of both Messi and Ronaldo is quite impressive. Steph Curry is behind her on the list.
While certain vets throw shade in subtweets and side eyes, Clark's out here building a billion-dollar brand. She's locking arms with Wilson. She's joining Michael Jordan in a club with only 2 members. You can question her rise all day, but the scoreboard doesn't lie. And if that's not convincing enough, just listen to the legends. When someone like Mike Breen starts speaking her name in the same breath as royalty, you know she's not just part of the moment, she is the moment.
She's doing, rating-wise for the WNBA, what Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Steph Curry have been doing for the NBA.
Caitlin Clark has already become the most valuable asset in women's basketball, but her reach stretches way beyond that. According to global rankings, she's now the 4th most marketable athlete in the world. Not the WNBA, not just women's sports, the world. That puts her ahead of entire leagues and international megastars. While some veterans still scroll bitterly through Twitter threads, Clark is headlining marketing decks and brand playbooks. She didn't just leapfrog individual athletes, she bypassed entire institutions. With her at the helm, the WNBA is no longer asking for recognition. It's demanding a seat at the table. And with every sponsor that signs on, the message becomes clearer. Clark isn't a trend, she's the future.
The idea of some players being jealous, yes, that probably exists.
Okay.
To me, yeah, jealous, sure. I mean, would you be jealous of somebody that got $28 million a shoe deal or whatever the deal is before you step foot in the pros?
While the league should be celebrating the arrival of a once-in-a-generation talent, the reaction hasn't been all cheers. Caitlin Clark's dominance has brought tension into the locker rooms. A rookie breaking records, pulling in over 1 million viewers per game, and filling arenas like a pop star, it's the kind of story leagues dream of. But for some veterans, it feels like whiplash. After years of grinding for recognition, they're watching a newcomer instantly command the spotlight. Their response? Elbows on the court, passive-aggressive tweets, side eyes during post-game interviews. It's a classic case of discomfort when the game starts evolving around you. And this time, the shift is happening at warp speed.
And what a lot of people weren't willing or were a bit reluctant to appreciate was the game on this young white sister of ours. She can ball. And oh, by the way, she was a great ambassador for the game. And by the way, she came in there and looked out for everybody else. For 22 years, they couldn't get chartered flights. That sister got there and it was done in 2 weeks. That's who Caitlin Clark is.
The WNBA has always prided itself on hard work, solidarity, and paying your dues. So when Caitlin Clark skipped the slow climb and arrived fully formed with TV cameras, multi-million-dollar deals, and an avalanche of new fans, it ruffled feathers. To some, it looked like she didn't earn it. But the truth? She absolutely did. Still, that hasn't stopped the physical pushback. On the court, you can see it. Extra shoves, aggressive fouls, moments that feel like more than just competition. It's a message. Earn your respect the hard way. What these moments really reveal is just how much of a threat Clark's presence has become. She's not just changing the league, she's forcing it to confront what it values most.
They try so long to get respect for women's basketball, and then they treat it like a junior high school girl's locker room. Junior high school girl antics on the court. Instead of playing the game, they gotta be drama because they're jealous. Instead of letting their skills speak for themselves, they gotta be drama because they're jealous.
So why all the bitterness? It's simple. Clark has what many never got: massive endorsements, global fame, and nonstop attention. For vets who grinded for years without the spotlight, it stings. But here's the truth. This isn't Clark's fault. Even Charles Barkley called it out. He didn't just defend Clark, he blasted the envy and made it clear. You can't knock the newcomer for succeeding where others were ignored.
These ladies, and I'm a WNBA fan, they cannot have this Caitlin Clark thing up any worse if they try.
Caitlin Clark's rise has put a glaring spotlight on all the things the WNBA has struggled to fix for decades. We're talking about unequal pay, lack of marketing, and the league's inability to break beyond its core audience. Clark didn't create these issues, but her success makes it impossible to ignore them anymore. While she earns just over $76,000 in league salary, her projected endorsement income exceeds $11 million this year alone. That's not just a pay gap, it's a canyon. And with every dollar she earns outside the league, it raises the question, why hasn't the WNBA capitalized on talent like this before? Her presence forces the league to evolve, or risk getting left behind.
So she spoke out against that. She got people paid. She got better travel arrangements. She increased the ratings and the revenue, which obviously the WNBA benefited exponentially because now you got a $200 million deal. All of these things being considered, you damn right. It is appropriate that she got Athlete of the Year. She is special, and she's coming.
Suddenly, the idea of a millionaire WNBA player isn't fantasy. It's front-page news. But if the league wants to level up, it has to evolve with the times. Veterans who ask, why her, instead of what now, are missing the bigger picture. Clark's not taking anything from anyone. She's building something new, and those willing to embrace it, they'll rise with her.
Now, what little girl wants to grow up and play in a league where you're targeted like that? How do you sit here and profess and demand that everyone take women's sports seriously when you can't even take it seriously enough to not act like a junior high queen on the court? It's stupid. That's so dumb. It looks like a soap opera.
Just when the noise started to settle, the GOAT himself entered the conversation, Michael Jordan. Until that moment, he'd stayed quiet, but his words flipped the entire narrative. When Jordan backs someone, it's not just a compliment, it's a confirmation. And with that one move, he amplified Clark's rise to something even bigger, a movement.
What if I told you a WNBA rookie was out here doing what no one thought was possible and outshining the great Michael Jordan's legacy? How would you react? Caitlin Clark is the girl flipping the script. Her rookie numbers are ridiculous. Fans, analysts, and even Michael Jordan stans are shook.
Let's take a moment to talk about one of the most defining endorsements in sports history. When Michael Jordan speaks, the basketball world doesn't just listen, it reacts. And this time, he didn't just drop a line of praise, he gave Caitlin Clark his stamp of legitimacy. He called it incredible to see kids now dribbling with her signature ball, the way past generations mimicked him. That's not just admiration, that's recognition from the highest level. Then he went even further, saying, the WNBA owes Clark for what she's done. Coming from the man who turned basketball into a billion-dollar machine, that kind of statement carries weight. Jordan didn't just tip his hat, he passed the torch.
You know well enough that in 1984, when Michael Jordan came into the NBA, the ratings in the NBA were not great. Chicago Stadium was, a third full.
When Jordan called Clark a game changer, it wasn't just symbolic, it was backed by stats. And here's the mind-blowing part. She and MJ now share a record that no other rookie in WNBA or NBA history has matched. Both averaged at least 18 points, 8.5 assists, 5 rebounds, 1 block, and 2 steals per playoff game in their debut seasons. That's not just impressive, it's iconic. Clark's not just being compared to Jordan for hype, she's earning it, play by play. When someone rises to MJ's level in both production and cultural impact, we're not talking about the future anymore. We're witnessing the arrival of a generational force.
He's getting the lion's share of the attention. The games are now getting all of his games are on TV. And he just was a polarizing figure. And Tiger Woods was like that when he went to the PGA as well. He changed the total economics of golf the same way Michael Jordan changed the financial economics of the NBA.
Caitlin Clark isn't waiting to be a legend. She's actively building her empire right in front of our eyes. Brands aren't just signing her, they're reshaping their entire playbooks around her. In a world where most athletes wait years for this kind of influence, Clark is doing it right now. The arenas she fills, the headlines she commands, the energy she creates, it's all moving in real time. This is no short-term fame. It's a movement in motion. And the most exciting part? She hasn't even scratched the surface of what's possible. The question isn't if she'll keep rising, it's how high she'll take the sport along with her. So if you're not watching yet, now's the time. Because Caitlin Clark isn't just starting her career, she's starting a revolution.